stop recording.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take this back.
That's right.
Movie night. Movie night. Movie night. Ain't no doubt we about to watch one movie night. Turn it on. Gotta get it started. Let's watch a movie tonight. 'Cause movie nights are always the best of times. Keep on watching. Keep on watching. Got to keep on watching. Keep on watching.
Okay. That's right.
We're back. We're back. Here's the thing. We just watched Ant-Man and the Quantumania.
Ant-Man Quantumania.
Ant-Man Quantumania.
And let me tell you something.
I'm getting tired.
I'm too
Tired of Marvel shit.
I think it might be dying.
I mean, it's like... Here's what I'd say. Here's the problem I had with DC. DC, and I made this complaint before. DC tried to do what Marvel did, to where they have this multiverse situation, and they weren't prepared for it, and it made a bad movie.
What movie was that?
I'm assuming The Flash. I'm assuming.
You're assuming in the future?
I'm just saying, like, they're trying to be what Marvel is, and they can't do it.
Yeah, I think they've been doing that for some time.
But now Marvel is 25 years preparation, and they are blowing it.
It just. I think it might be dead. I think it might be dying.
Is it because of us, or is it because of them?
I think that everything sees its time in the sunlight, and I mean, this has been going on for like 20 years almost. When did the Iron Man 1 come out?
So let me ask you a question. Let's say we had 20 years of prep, right? If we could have gotten 10 years of prep and then ended up getting these movies, would you have been happier with that, or would you have?
No, I think Marvel had their time in the sun, and they hit it perfectly with Endgame. Perfect movie. Infinity War, perfect movie. But I think that's where they like peaked. And now they're declining. And one of the reasons that they're declining is with like cultural bullshit that they're trying to put into it. Which this one didn't have a lot of it, but in general,
this one honestly didn't have any of it, which is usually my biggest qualm in the movie.
I think that his daughter could be like considered a part of it, just like the fact that she exists. Like, how many more teenage girls do we need in the Marvel universe? It seems like
I don't think we need any more women as superheroes.
Any more women, but like we have a ton of teenage girls. We have Hawkeye.
Yep.
We have Miss Marvel. Never saw her.
Yep. We have America. That girl. She's a teenage girl. We have
Which girl?
the one that can trans-dimensional travel with the stars. She was in
and Doctor Strange, and then like in the new Black Panther, like every single new
it's the whole MO, and it's like that's cool. I get it, but at some point, the male actors who we have left are gonna give out, and then we're gonna have a Marvel universe full of women, and they're killing them. And I can assure you, it is not gonna be
going to lose.
It's not gonna be good. I'll keep watching the movies, but I'm gonna be like, not that I'm like
begrudgingly,
I mean, it's just fucking. It's sorry. I already said it. I'm sorry.
It's young.
I know. That's how hot I am.
Not even like this didn't have much of the whole. Let's stay true to cancel culture and stuff. But I'm just saying that that's a whole another girl character who I think they recasted from when he first came back in. And
that's so true. Okay, and she looked more like
someone I
Cass. She looked more like Cass now. And then they got this like no.
Okay.
Like when they Paul Rudd like goes to the memorial, and he reads out the names, and he sees everybody's names, including himself, and then he's like, oh, Cassie's not on this list. He goes to Cassie, sees a Cassie who looks like Cassie. And now they're like, I don't give an F. This is the Cassie you're gonna get. She had brown hair, now she has blonde hair. Deal with it.
Was she blonde?
Does she not look blonde to you?
I would have, if you would have asked me, I would have said she was brunette. But they are just adding a ton of female characters and not adding any good dudes. No good dudes. And I just feel like, with a superhero movie, not superheroes though, like that's a bad guy.
more dudes are watching this shit. You're bringing your girlfriend or wife or girl showing
And they are thinking like, wow, why am I here watching this movie? But now we got 72 freaking female characters that are ruining the MCU. And it's not like I care.
Who's your
But I
favorite?
care.
Who are your favorite female characters?
How much
How much
time
time you got? Gamora.
Gamora's good.
I like Gamora.
I thought Hawkeye girl wasn't bad.
I think she's okay. I think she's got a good sense of humor.
I'd like to see her. I
her.
already didn't like Hope.
And the daughter?
No, the girlfriend, the Wasp.
Oh yeah, and then she got the whole hilarious haircut.
Her haircut is horrendous.
I mean, at least she was hot. Now she's got this.
Why'd they do that? They didn't tell her to do that. She must have
The
done
hottest girl in this whole entire movie is a 70-year-old grandma, and it's got me questioning what age I cap off at. You know what I mean? Because it's Batty McBatterson, because you look good.
Well, that's a little bit weird because I was about to say that she kind of reminds me of Van Sharon.
I wish you would said that a little bit faster.
I didn't know you were going to call her back.
I told you that.
She's famous. You know, I'm not going to hate on you for being the famous.
Now you
person.
make me
I feel disgusting. I feel absolutely disgusting.
Okay, let me see. I think it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Anyway, so honestly,
I had a huge qualm with this movie, and I
don't think this is the movie's fault, but we went to the movie theater to see it, and I shit you not, the audio on this movie was like the first 5 episodes of movie night. It was so bad, like people would get too loud, and it was
like something was wrong with one of the speakers, and this is how it sounded.
yeah, like the second it got a little bit too loud, it was like, and then if you go to the scream, it was like they was talking.
They were talking to a damn cop. At one point, I wrote down Zach left the movie, and he talked to someone, I suppose, and it appeared to be fixed. And I said, "Oh wow, Zach fixed the audio." And then 2 minutes later, I wrote, "Actually, he didn't."
No, I gotta go.
I'm gonna go
grab the charger so I can look at my notes.
Your phone's dead?
No, it's at 1%.
Alright. Well, I'll keep you guys entertained. So, let me think of some girls that are in these movies that don't suck. Pepper Potts, she's not so bad.
I hate Pepper Potts.
You know what they should have done with Pepper Potts, though?
You know what I hate about Pepper Potts is Gwyneth Paltrow.
You hate Gwyneth Paltrow?
I heard she's just the biggest bee of all bees.
Oh, I think she's a good person and they all hate her.
Oh, really? I would say the best.
I think she doesn't like all the libness.
No way. You think? No way.
She's a big time anti-vaxxer.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
they sucked you in, dude.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting sucked.
She has a big time magazine called Goop, and she's very anti-vax.
Gross.
She does weird stuff.
You know what I like?
Who?
Aunt May.
Oh, everyone loves Aunt May. What's her name? I mean, that girl, it's a smoke show.
I know.
It's the first time they were ever like, hey, did anyone ever think about making Aunt May hot?
Have you seen like
the chronological order of like all the Spider-Mans, and then it ends at Aunt May, and then they show like the next Aunt May, and it's like a 16-year-old girl, and Peter Parker is like a baby. Like it just keeps like, because Aunt May used to be like an old lady, like there's no way your uncle wouldn't like it if you were doing that.
And then the next one was like, Peter, chill out. This is
How much money do you want to bet that Aunt May?
She said Peter a little bit crazy. And my Peter doing something a little bit crazy.
I'm telling you, her name is Marissa Tomei.
Oh my gosh.
Let
me tow you.
That was pretty much what I was doing too.
She's something special.
She's dope. Also, do you know that her
hold on. If there was an Uncle Ben in Spider-Man, like they never cast one, who do you think would be a good casting for it?
Brandon Fraser.
Wow, he would have been great. Not fat one, but like a handsome one.
Whichever.
The only reason I
said that is because I thought you knew that I had already seen. I thought you saw the same thing I saw. Because they wanted Brendan Fraser to be Uncle Ben to Brendan Tomei, whatever her name is.
Really?
Yeah, like it was like in this universe, like Uncle Ben and Aunt May got divorced, and then Uncle Ben's still alive. And
Is this really gonna happen?
Not probably not, but that's a possibility that I saw.
Taylor said Derek Shepherd from Grey's Anatomy. Him and Marissa Tomei would have.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, you know.
I
It's
mean,
gonna make dreamy,
handsome,
dreamy,
beautiful.
and they would make Tom Holland.
Yeah. You make the shittiest movie of all time. Put Aunt May and McDreamy in it.
That's a good movie.
Call me
McWatch.
Yeah, this movie doesn't have enough hot people to be a shit.
Oh my God.
And they cut the girl's hair off like he was. It was ridiculous.
Ellen
DeGeneres.
Yeah.
I was sick and tired of it. I don't want to see you in a pixie cut. I thought you were hot before I thought you were a dude.
One more Ellen DeGeneres.
I don't even want to see Ellen DeGeneres ever again.
If Ellen DeGeneres shows up in one of these movies, I'm walking out.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like Ellen.
No,
I hate her.
She's a fraud.
She's a
She's a
fraud.
fraud. I heard she's the biggest POS of all time.
I can't believe they even gave her last season. Pushing it out.
Make us look like the same size while having your microphone.
Alright, jeez.
I'm trying to back you up, not push you.
Alright, Zach just pushed his hands all over me.
Yeah, John's too big for the camera. He's got issues.
I'm jacked. Alright, let's start with the actual movie.
Anyways,
the movie opens up.
Zach peed 6 times, so he doesn't even know how to open up. He was peeing right out the gate.
Did I pee at the start?
Yeah, because you guys see what happened. So it opens up, and they're in the quantum realm with Janice. Janet.
The hot
Hope's mom, hot grandma, Michelle Pfeiffer, kind of like that car, and Sharon, but just a smidge, so relax. So relax. And she's in the quantum realm, like she's been there, but she lived there for 30 years. And she's getting attacked by these animals down there, and then someone shoots them off of her, and it's Kang the Conqueror, who we already know is the new bad guy of this new season of Marvel movies, and he first appears. So then it goes to present day, and I write, Hope has a really bad haircut. Yeah, and that's true. That's fair. That's very true. She has a terrible haircut. This girl used to be pretty, and now she's not.
I mean, no Aunt May. No, she's like a Walmart Aunt May.
Because not even.
No, she's a Walmart. No, she's a Walmart Aunt May.
She has the haircut.
Okay, so she was a Walmart Aunt May before the haircut. Now she's a Dollar General Aunt May because she's got this freaking pixie cut that nobody asked for.
And now we just have to deal with it.
And I've never seen this girl in a movie either, so it's not like she had to do it for another.
And I'm just sitting here waiting for this girl to
explain her haircut.
No, not even that. Just to say that she's bisexual
or something to make the haircut make sense.
Make it make sense.
And that's another problem with Marvel.
That's all
I'm waiting for.
I was waiting.
Which one of you guys is gay?
That's not it. I'm waiting on Paul Rudd to say he's a little bit gender fluid. I'm waiting on his daughter to be like, oh, yo, I don't care what color the genitals are. I bang everything. Like, I'm just sick and tired of it, but they just keep bringing it up. So I'm expecting it for all of these movies.
Yeah, so then, Paul Rudd's daughter, do you know her name in the movie?
Kim.
Yeah, Cassie.
Yeah.
She gets arrested. She gets broken out of jail. Evidently, she was a peaceful protester. Go figure. That was the most like.
That was the most
shout out to Lib
which was fine.
Cool.
I mean, brush past it. We're cool. I mean, like Cassie was using her abilities to help people that were in need, and that's fine. What I don't like is when it's the whole movie is about.
Yeah, that was just in passing.
Cool.
Yeah,
I do not
care.
Do not care.
God dang.
But I just don't like how. Like even that, it's like, why did y'all even put that in? You know, waste of time, waste of space.
I asked, how did
Okay, keep going, because this might be a little bit later.
Okay. So this is what my next note, because I already just talked about Zach fixing the audio. Then my next note is, about how they got pulled in to the quantum realm.
Okay, so let me ask my question. I said, how the heck did Ant-Man's daughter build, and this is
how they defined it in the movie.
A miniature version
of the Hubble telescope.
So
she built the Hubble telescope.
Did she not build it with Hope's dad?
I don't know. They made it seem like it was like all her work, which I mean, like ants. Which I mean, like if you built like a lattice, which everyone knows what a lattice is. If you built a lattice with your grandpa, at the end of the day, if people were like, "Hey, man, that's a pretty sweet lattice," your grandpa would probably say,
"Zach built it."
See?
Yeah, Dad does that to me all the time. Look at this mantle that me and my dad built. Oh, John built that mantle.
Really?
Actually,
I could not have done this on mine.
You probably could have, but not me.
No.
But they always shot you out.
Yeah.
So
you could have built something.
So it could have been like
Cassie
built this. It was like Hank Pym pretty much put all the work in, and Cassie was pretty much just there with.
She was just watching.
Yeah.
Female genitals.
Yeah. She had female genitals.
Just hyping up the whole entire situation that we're in right now, which is exhausting.
Listen, we know women can do
things. You don't have to act like women do everything, Marvel.
We got it.
So they cook good, they clean good.
They also save the world good.
Yeah, they cook clean and save the world good.
We got it, Marvel. They can be astronauts. It's 2023.
Nobody cares.
We don't need to
The only thing we care about is you guys thinking we care about it.
How about you make a good movie? Stop trying to tell me what women can and can't do.
Yeah. When are you going to stop telling me what I think about the world, Marvel?
Yeah.
Because you know what I think about you, Marvel? I think you're shit.
And you're going downhill fast.
And I don't know when
Iron Man 1 dropped, but that was when I just was ride or die.
Now I'm not so die.
I would rather die. I would rather die.
Maybe I'll jump on DC train.
I know. And also, I mean, jeez Louise. Can we talk about just how exhausting movies have been since we got to COVID?
Oh my God.
I mean, COVID has
single-handedly ruined movies. Because, I mean, once COVID happened, we got strictly into streaming services. The people that made movies pushed their movies into streaming services, and there was no reason for us to go to movies. Now they're trying to reopen movies, and I'm certain of this. The only movies that are getting any headway are like either like sequels that are super important or Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So
I'm shocked they're still open. I mean, we've been going to movies for some time now. I mean, they've been back open for like over a year and a half, too. And they have no one working there. They always have this guy who works that Zach calls mop head with hair down to his chin.
This dude literally like I could have given this dude a ticket stub from like a ski ball machine, and he would have checked me out and said, movie holidays. Yeah, like this dude had no idea what the heck was going on because he literally can't see anything.
Down to his chin, all around his head.
Oh, it's like coconut head from Ned's Declassified times 3. Like it's like that reaches your chin and you're done.
Everyone working there stinks. I mean, I ordered Pepsi Zero and a root beer. I got 2 root beers. You can't get anything refilled. There's like 2 people working there. I think movies are dying. I'm sure we're not going to be going to the movies for very long anymore.
Yeah, we are.
We're probably going to go see Shazam too.
No, we will be going to that, but like that's coming out this year. I don't think movie theaters have 5 years left in them. Not the ones in your like local.
I think
the movie theaters they do. Local ones like the one by
Atlanta will have a movie.
The one
theater.
by Junction
Lanes. That one's already closed.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think a church is considering buying it.
No.
Yeah. I think
not a church.
God bless the church.
Yeah.
I
hope that works
out. I hope that pops off.
I'll watch that
viewing.
Yeah, way more than I'll watch this movie again.
I hate this movie.
Most local theaters are going to have their work cut out for them. I never see them busy anymore.
I don't know
why we go to this theater in general.
Besides the fact, so John and Taylor recently, or like not so recently, have invested in this like, hey, you're a movie buyer,
Regal something, and you get like you get your tickets free. It's like $22 a month. I've been talking to Taylor for a while about canceling it. But now that we have a kid, we're definitely going to cancel it. But we used to live right by a Regal movie theater, and it was worth it.
And you know what we get in return? Pepsi products.
Coca-Cola.
F off Pepsi. I know Pepsi is popular up north because it's got to be.
Where's the Coca-Cola?
Just give me a Coke. Nobody cares. Like, I don't care who you bought this investment from. Lose a couple $100,000 and give me a Coke. I mean, like, what are those machines that are like in every Zaxby's?
Freestyle. Coca-Cola.
Oh my God!
Freestyle
Me. Put me in a freestyle. Blame me up. You can do a little bit of that. I want to make a freaking
Fanta orange.
What's that? What was that drink called back in the day?
A tornado or something.
Oh well, this might be a little bit problematic, but it's called a suicide.
Oh really?
I want to suicide every single drink. I want 2,345 flavors from the that's called suicide. What is it called? The Coca-Cola Freestyle. If I Coca-Cola Freestyle every single flavor on that night,
I commit suicide.
I know. You said that a little bit too much. I said it once.
That's what it's called. It's called suicide. Sorry, Chief. You asked for it.
Anyway, so here's what happens. They go within 5 minutes.
I wrote. Getting pulled into the quantum realm was so DA.
Like they're
not even on Earth. She builds this thing. She turns it on, turns it off.
They were definitely
sucked it for a second.
Oh, okay. I'm saying they were on Earth.
I'm like,
they were on Earth for a split second of the movie.
That was
the whole freaking start. And it terrible reason to get
terrible start.
But quantum realm, I was like, what happened? Like now
they're like, wait. The mom's like, oh, this is a beacon to Where's the echo
coming from? Oh, let's do this.
We were just told there was an echo.
Who's that?
This is Knife Lord. Knife Lord, let me know if it sounds better, but Knife Lord's just a loyal viewer at this point who we play chess with, and he's a beast.
Thank you, Knife Lord. It's good now.
It's good. Thanks, big dog.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Knife Lord, how has the echo been? On 10 being the worst.
Yeah, because we've been in this for about 23 minutes.
10 being very bad echo, 1 being not such a bad echo. Come on, Knife Lord. We're on dead radio right now.
Knife Lord, also, just so you know, if you weren't confused or if you didn't know already, this is my big brother, John, and he...
What's Knife Lord's real name? Do you know it?
No.
Oh, it sounds like
we're in the quantum realm.
Oh, perfect. Oh, shit. He said that bad.
Wait, so was the audio in this movie supposed to sound as bad as it did because we were in the quantum realm?
No.
Was this...
That was broken.
I mean, like, the audio in our movie theater, I kid you not, was the worst thing I've ever experienced.
That shit was busted.
And we know, because we are kings of bad audio.
Yeah, I mean, evidently we just messed it up.
I mean, we cannot stop.
That bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
all right, Knife Lord, we're going to read your comments at the end. If you want to hang around, we are going to make a lot of bad comments about Quantum Realm, and we'll read them and see if you have any opinions that are different.
So, they get pulled in. It's super DA. It's like, oh, let's get these people in the Quantum Realm as soon as possible. And they just pull them in there, and her dumb invention...
Oh, like Marvel as a whole, they were like, let's get them in there as soon as possible.
Like, they were like, how do we get them in the Quantum Realm?
Well, because
turn on this stupid machine and just suck them in.
The hot grandma was like, turn that off right now. And then they turn it off, and then it's like, just kidding, we got you. And then MODOK said, to do with all head, no legs.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, thanks for, I caught your signal. Mm-hmm. And he kept saying, MODOK kept saying, I'm the ultimate
Let's get to him.
machine. And he was like, the most ultimate piece of dirt I've ever seen
He
in
had
my
guns
life.
he would pull up and stuff. But also, like, with the grandma then, like, being like, turn that off. And then freaking out when they got down there and hiding and stuff.
Tell us sooner.
Yeah, why didn't you tell us this shit? There was no reason for her to hide it.
No.
She
What
should have
was
been
the
like,
point?
hey, there's this guy down there. His name is Kang the Conqueror, and he's trying to do this.
So we should not go back.
We should not go back.
And then it would have saved us from the shittiest movie that Marvel has ever portrayed.
Do you think it's their worst one? I mean, we'll get to our draft, but do you think it's number one?
Yes.
Bad? Wow.
And let me
Zach
go
was
first.
pissed.
Let me go first because of that. But I think this is the worst movie Marvel's ever made.
All right, so they get pulled down into the quantum realm, where they meet some quantum realm people. So now we find out that people live down there.
And now, welcome to the world of CGI.
Everything in this movie is CGI.
I imagine 6 people made this whole entire movie.
It wasn't even great visually. Like,
No, like, I mean, they're like the background, it's like, oh, well, like I saw a picture of like when Bill Murray entered the screen. I looked at a background of Bill Murray against the background, and I was like, well, that's clearly a green screen. And I'm sure, like, I know all of it's green screen, but I'm saying that, like, you could see it clearly.
Well, I
And
mean,
there's
they've
multiple situations where it's like, oh, that looks disgusting.
I mean, they've had other movies where they've done a ton of green screen. Like Endgame was all in space, you know? So that's all CGI, all green screen. But that was a great movie. They put their time into it. This movie sucks. It's
Do you think they're just trying to push them out?
push them out. They're making a ton. Like, look at the shows they're putting out. They put out a ton. They put out movies all the time. They're not putting in any effort, it seems like. So, Thor, I thought was pretty good. I'm just talking about the
Love and
last ones.
Thunder?
I thought Love and Thunder was still pretty good. People hated on it, but I thought it was pretty good.
Love and Thunder didn't make my list of worst of all time, but it definitely, like, if we would have done, like, top 15 worst of all time, Love and Thunder would have made my
I
list.
liked it. I think if if Ragnarok didn't exist, Love and Thunder would get more love because they were too similar. But because it was so
Well, I
it
mean,
was
they
funny
keep
and
getting
stuff.
Taiki Waititi to do the same. And that's the same thing. That's the same qualms I
should
had with
switch-
Deadpool.
they
That's the
should
same qualms I had with Deadpool.
I think what they should do is switch off like,
Directors?
Yeah, like Taika.
Feige? I do not want to see Feige in any of
Who's
this
that?
anymore. Apparently, he's the guy that's, like, making all of them. I can
one?
picture him in my head. Feige does a
The
lot
bald
of it.
guy,
I don't know if he's bald.
the guy in charge of Marvel. Well, I'm thinking is like Taika Waititi made a great Thor movie, and it came after 2 Thors that weren't anything like it. What if he went and made the next, like,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians
He would
of
have
the
been a
Galaxy.
really good Guardians
and then
of the
it would have been a
Galaxy.
completely different take on Guardians, and
And then
then
he
whoever
would've had-
made Guardians could go take on Thor.
But
something
also,
like that.
he would have had free range and free room to picture something else. I
Yeah.
feel like they keep putting these guys in a corner, and then so like
It's
they
like-
put Taiki Waititi in this corner, and he makes Ragnarok,
Yeah,
and
he
it's
made
a
Ragnarok.
perfect movie,
Yeah.
a 9.2.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Well, you're gonna make the next Thor movie," and then he's like, "Well, I just did all this with this
Well, they
Thor
think
movie."
like, hey, you just learned the characters, you know the world. This would be most beneficial. I think what would be really cool is if
switch it up every
switch
time.
it around. And
Yeah.
like the next Thor became like extremely dark and
I do not want to
and
see
stuff like that.
Batman sad every time in the Seattlest of Seattles you've ever Seattled. Because
You mean the Batman movie?
I haven't finished it.
Oh,
I couldn't give my opinion. Have you?
Yeah, I finished
finished
it.
it?
Now.
What
Yeah,
do
it only
you-
took me 3 times.
What's your time?
I would give it like
In the 8s?
maybe like barely in the 8s.
And people are acting like that's the
Oh,
best movie
they're
of all time.
hyping it. I mean, like Dark
Oh,
Knight
I mean, it's
is
like
way
they-
better, and you're not gonna give Dark Knight like a perfect 10.
And it's like,
so let's
hey-
give Dark Knight a 9.3. This thing deserves to be 8.3 at top, a whole point below it for sure.
For sure. I mean, was Twilight even in this movie, or was it just a freaking shadow over a dude's face who looked like whoever Twilight was? I don't know.
But they always let these directors do the same movie, and I think it would be genius to be like, Taika, you took this Thor. I
Is
think
it Taika or Tahiti?
Taika Waititi.
Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Yep, that's the same. He did great in Ragnarok, but then I thought the next Thor wasn't as bad as some people thought. I thought it was just like basically the same shit again, which would have been really cool to do a really dark Thor right after Ragnarok. Like,
even with the Thor Love and Thunder, I mean, like, Natalie Portman was the only reason that they beat this dude in the end. The only reason they beat Christian Bale in the end was because of Natalie Portman, which is fine. But it's not a Natalie Portman movie. It's a Thor movie.
Are you talking about more chicks? Chicks in the office?
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I don't need any more chicks in the office. I mean, they're making 75 cents for every dollar that we make, and then they're shoving it down our face.
So, honestly, like, you chicks need to be getting paid more because Marvel's using the dickens out of you. They're like, hey, Thor, actually, we're going to make Natalie the main character because she's going to be cheaper. So, you know, you just...
Which I'm sure she was. I mean, they could have...
Yeah, it's crazy.
They probably took freaking $5 million off of old dementias. That's terrible.
He doesn't really have dementia.
I swear, he's got like early...
I looked it up.
What?
I don't think it exists.
I'm pretty sure he took off because his grandma had early stages of Alzheimer's.
All right, let's get back.
Look at us, just getting back in. Just fake news.
Then I wrote that Hope's mom sucks. So Janet, she sucks, and we kind of already talked about like why didn't you tell these people everything about that woman just kind of stunk other than how she looked. So,
I don't know where this lines up in the movie, but at some point they say. They're talking to Paul Rudd, and they say, you have 7 holes.
Oh, so I just was about, my next note was, ooze is funny, and that's the guy who said it.
Do we have 7 holes?
Yes, we counted them at the movie theater.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 just on the face, and then we got the 2 that you talked about.
You just have 2 below deck.
Yeah.
Now, I think chicks might have 8. They have a pee hole and a birth hole.
Okay, so...
They have 2 out of their main carriage.
Yeah. Okay. So. This isn't an anatomy podcast.
Yeah, I mean, they could have extra. I don't know, but as far as I know.
Backpack. Sorry.
So the ooze guy was funny. If they drank some of this ooze, they could learn, like, everyone's language, which was a great invention. And
True, but they made it, like, super freaking weird.
Which part?
He was like, drink my ooze.
Oh, yeah, and he's like, you have holes.
Yeah, and they're like, drink my ooze through your holes. And I'm like, jeez, Louise.
I still thought that part was kind of funny. I mean, you got this movie's grasping at straws here. You got to give it its due where it's due.
I mean, that was okay funny. I laughed out loud when MODOK started talking.
All right, so then I got... Bill Murray. Bill Murray shows up. He's like the king of this little community. And turns out he's banging his
that was so weird too.
Janet's mom, Janet, Hope's mom.
Yeah,
he was banging her while she was down there.
They're like, "Oh, long time no see. I remember the last time I saw you, it was under the sheets." And then Hank Pym was just like,
Arr. And he's like, "What kind of stuff were y'all doing?" He was like, "Crazy stuff."
He was like, "All the stuff, baby boy.
We can't even speak about it."
Yeah, and it was weird.
What do we? This is a kids movie first and foremost.
And also what a waste of a Bill Murray.
Yeah, he had a terrible character,
and he was in it for like 2.5 minutes. Which I mean, sure, maybe you'd have to pay Bill Murray so much that you couldn't get a full couple of minutes out of him. But my microphone keeps blinking red when I talk.
Oh God!
I need a new. You see it when I talk? Right there, when I talk, you see what I'm talking about?
Maybe you're getting into the red zone.
No, I think I need a new cord. Regardless, we'll be okay.
We'll be okay today. Another thing I wrote down is they don't talk about how good the tosses are because they have these little things that either
the little disc and they're just
disc or
quick scope.
Yeah, they're disc and they'll either make things giant or shrink them, and they will just toss them in a cup.
What was
a mile away, and they're like
Hawkeye level.
Yeah,
and I feel like Hank Pym did that, and I was
powers. It was into this octopus.
Hank Pym did it.
So
into the cup with the octopus, and I was like, how does he
You don't have
zero
powers.
scope
You're
that?
actually a damn nerd, Hank Pym. You know?
Yeah, like there's nothing about you that would.
You don't have
You would probably throw it like
1 billion miles away.
5 feet beyond that.
You probably would have made Bill Murray absolutely
like
huge.
absolutely giant, and then you would have been like, we gotta get out of here because now this guy is he's
kill
after
me.
us.
So they don't talk about that, but they have Hawkeye level throwing these disc abilities.
Yeah, every time they need to throw a disc, it's like, hey, we
throw
got
that disc in
you.
that tiny little cup.
Whatever.
100 feet away. Oh yeah, I'll launch this disc. So then I wrote Cassie the daughter stinks. I can't remember what she did to make me think that, but she
Everything.
did it. They were caught at the time.
I asked who exiled Kang. Oh, it was Kang.
Yeah.
Kang exiled Kang. So by the end of it, we know. But I mean, Kang exiled Kang. So maybe this was the good Kang, but he didn't seem like a good Kang.
He seemed like a bad.
He overthrowed all the Kangs. So Kangs are all Kangs. And
So then Murdoch shows up, and it's this like big, huge floating head with tiny little arms and legs. He looks hilarious. I know he's from the comics. And
they just did him poorly.
Was
I don't
there
know
a
how they
good
were
way to
supposed to
it?
do him. No,
I think they
I
should.
really don't know
I think
either.
they should have banished this character, to be honest.
For sure.
Like
I
he
mean,
was
he
too
looks
goofy.
just so goofy goober.
I mean,
And
he has a
also-
blown up face. Imagine my face and then making it more round, and then just blowing it up as big as the moon, and then having tiny arms and legs.
Little baby arms.
Yeah,
I'm cool with what they did with MODOK.
with Darren.
Yeah. And like even like how they made Darren into
So
MODOK, that was
Darren-
okay. And he was the funniest character of this whole entire
Oh
movie.
yeah, he was one of the shining lights of this movie.
I know.
Darren was the bad guy in Ant-Man 1, and he turns out to be MODOK, which what did it stand for?
Like
Mur-
most diabolical destroyer of.
Murder or death of killing. I don't know. It had some. It was some anagram, and Darren, the guy from the first Ant-Man, happens to be Murdoch. And he's a little goofy looking, but he also was like one of the funnier characters in the movie.
Well,
And-
because he's like, what did he say about being a dick?
That's later. So he's just like, hey, Scott, I got you trapped. I'm the biggest weapon of mass destruction ever, you know. You better listen to Kang or else you're screwed.
He keeps talking about how like diabolical of a villain he is, or like how destructive of a like person he is, because he keeps saying
He's
like,
I'm the best weapon of mass destruction of all time.
and like MODOK stands for something like that.
Yeah.
It's like most. I just can't think of the O.
I'm sure D is death or K is killing.
But anyways, I mean, like, he's not any of that, and he's already dead. I figured he wouldn't be dead, but he's dead
In real life. Oh, in the movie.
in the movie.
So
I'm sure not in real life.
there is one funny scene that I thought was a classic. So they're showing like a little flashback to like MODOK being made, and so he's this giant head and like these tiny legs and tiny arms, and he has this tiny little butt.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
pretty funny.
Yeah, I like tiny little.
I mean, he has this
That's
giant
kinda
head,
weird.
and you know you love tiny little butts.
Okay, well I didn't want to say it, but John just doubled
I mean,
down.
it's hilarious. They do it even back in the day. They did it in Rugrats the movie because everyone loves a tiny little butt. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just a funny little butt.
Yeah, it's just a little funny little butt. Then I wrote, okay, so then it does a flashback to Janet, who's on, she's in the quantum realm back in the day, and she's
Lover's Island,
hanging out with Kang, and I
Kang.
said, damn, Janet probably banged Kang too.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean,
she was
Janet-
banging everything.
I mean, given she's alone in this world all by herself, but it seems like everyone she's
And
meeting,
also,
she's
if
falling in
I
love
was-
with and banging.
yeah, and if I was Kang the Conqueror in that situation,
Zach's banging Janet.
there's no situation where I'm not conquering.
Zach's a big Michelle Pfeiffer fan.
I'm a big Hot Moms fan.
Yeah.
If you got a mom,
Watch out.
I like Hot Moms.
Yeah, so Janet probably was banging Kang, and then that's where I put Janet kind of looked like Aunt Sharon, and
Which is weird. To
for
put it at this
Zach,
point.
I'm not the one saying,
I'm pretty sure you
I
said
would've
she was hot.
conquered her. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer, everyone knows she's a good-looking gal.
Yeah, but you didn't have to make her
Aunt Sharon.
simpatico with her.
I didn't say it until you put it out there that she was good-looking. I just put that she looked like Aunt Sharon.
Okay.
I mean, you should be the one who feels weird.
Aunt Sharon, I hope you don't listen to this.
So, anyways, she's hanging out with Kang the Conqueror down in the quantum realm, and she's helping him out to try and escape, I guess, the quantum realm. He has a ship that busted, and then she puts together a ship, and it's run on some kind of technology that
it's like neurological. So it's like the ship is pretty much
Runs
in the same wavelength as him, and like whatever he says does.
And then basically she touches the battery or whatever, and then she sees like his
Every
past
single
life
version of him.
and like what he thinks and stuff. And basically she finds out he's a bad guy.
He's a dirtbag.
So she's like, I gotta destroy this shit I helped him make. So she throws
those discs, which I mean at that point,
you know you can't miss.
Easy accuracy.
Yeah. You
I
know,
mean,
like she should have ran away, thrown it behind her back, through
True,
her legs,
like
would have
a
hit that
frickin'
thing right on a bullseye.
Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
30 seconds left
She
in the
could have gone
Super Bowl.
left-handed, you know?
Yeah.
So she nails this thing. It blows up. It turns huge. And now he's stuck there. And that's what she was doing while she was down.
You know what? That's what I would like to see from an Ant-Man movie, which we haven't seen yet, and we've gotten 3 of them.
Yeah.
I want to see someone miss with that disc and then hit
Never seen
something
a
they're
missed
not
disc.
supposed to hit.
Yes. That'd be great.
But I mean, they hit the Thomas the Train, but I don't know if that was like.
I can't remember. Was that on purpose?
I think that was an accidental hit. So maybe they did in the first movie, but at this point,
They don't miss out. And I'm talking about from disc.
But-
I mean, that octopus shot was like your little cup right there.
oh,
But, like,
15 feet away.
Imagine if it was on your like island over there. Even that would be impossible to hit.
Fling,
Imagine
yeah.
trying to hit your fishbowl with one of those things. Impossible. And it was like
That's a
harder than that.
terrarium.
Yeah, Zach has a terrarium. It's house to, which has to be 100 roly-polies now.
I'd say upwards of 30.
Oh, I thought they reproduced.
I don't
those.
know if they've hatched yet.
I've seen some on the surface.
Yeah, we've
They
seen them.
might be running
It's
out
exciting.
of space.
I hope so.
So she douches Kang and she ruins his plan to escape. So now he's stuck there. They're both stuck there. I like this quote. So Kang goes to see Ant-Man in prison, whom MODOK trapped Ant-Man and his daughter. And Kang's talking to him. He's like, I'm an Avenger. And he goes, oh, you're an Avenger? Have I killed you before? And which means like,
Oh,
because
like,
he's
I've
killed
been
a
there.
lot of them.
Been there,
and
done
he's
that.
like seen a bunch of Avengers through time. And
Which, I
stuff.
mean, at that point, like, oh, you're an Avenger? Have I killed you before? Let me be honest with you. Ant-Man is a C-list level.
hardly an Avenger.
I mean, not even that. And I mean, Ant-Man's got his little, like, he can shrink down, go up your butt.
Bad skills.
He can go up your butt.
But like, if you killed Ant-Man, doesn't mean you can kill Thor all of a sudden.
Absolutely. And he's like, oh, are you the one with the hammer? Even, like, King the Conqueror says that. He's like, are you the one with the hammer?
When he says that, you're like, you've killed
Equating Thor to Ant-Man.
Not even close.
Ant-Man's a dude that can shrink.
But don't you think when he said that, that means Kang has killed Thor before?
Absolutely.
Which is pretty intense.
Which is pretty
The
intense.
Kang
which is
I
how
saw in
the
this
hell-
movie, he's not killing
Puss.
Thor. He is not killing Thor. He does a couple cool
He
things.
got ran down by a couple hundred ants.
Yeah, and Thor would not have lost to those ants.
But also, it was
on his
ants that
hammer.
were also like
Giant.
50 times the size of you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get to that too, because I hate... this movie sucks.
Oh, okay. Well,
So then I wrote Kang must be tiny because he lets Paul Rudd out of the jail cell, who I'm assuming can't be more than 5'6".
oh, me and John talked about this.
And they're like the same size.
I mean, they're going toe to toe, and the only thing I think of is like they gave Paul Rudd like
Some height.
the same way they would do to Tom Cruise.
Well, what I'm wondering about is I know that the guy who plays Kang is in Creed 3. His name is Jonathan Majors. And I'm assuming Michael B. Jordan's not short, and I'm assuming that Jonathan Majors, he's the guy who fights him. I'm assuming he has to be jacked. So at least he's got jacked.
I'm
going
assuming
for
they're
him.
both 5'10".
You don't think Michael Jordan's very tall?
I'm assuming he's
Michael B. Jordan.
I'm assuming Michael B. Jordan is a very respectable height at 5'10".
Well, that's not respectable to me, but I understand why you would call that respectable.
That's not respectable to me. Wow.
I understand. Okay, so I think that this guy must be
Hey,
pretty short.
5'10" is respectable, and I'm a 5'11", so you know, I even try and look down at those guys.
So then Kang is like, hey, I need you to go fix this thing that Janet messed up. You need to go shrink it down, and you're the man for the job because I have you caught. And then...
Oh, he's like, if you don't, I'm going to kill your daughter.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to kill your daughter. And then he shrinks down, and he goes by this thing, and then there's a billion Scott Langs.
And then chaos happens. That's one of the main things I liked about
But
this.
I thought they kind of stole it from Doctor Strange. It seemed very Doctor Strangey.
Okay, so I didn't like that point. Here's what
All
I'd say.
the Scott Langs?
So here's all of the animated shows that have done this before.
Uh-huh.
Family Guy has done this before, and they did it better than Marvel. And Rick and Morty did this before, and they did it better than or they did it better than
Family Guy.
Marvel. Like, Rick and Morty and Family Guy both did this.
What did
better
Family
than
Guy
Marvel.
do?
So Family Guy had this scene where it was like Stewie and Brian time traveled, and then they keep time traveling, and Brian like stops 9/11,
Yeah.
and then it ends up being way more detrimental than you would think. Yeah. And then like they reverse it,
Classic.
and then Brian like, because Brian, you can't help Brian, he keeps doing shit that he's not supposed to do. So then Brian ends up writing the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
So then they keep doing that, and they keep like backtracking because like, and then at the end of it, there's thousands of different scenarios of Stewie's and Brian's.
Yeah.
And they're all in different situations, and at the end, it's like they get to a point. But there's thousands of Stewies and there's thousands of Brian's, and they're all in the same situation. And then with Rick and Morty, I don't remember exactly what they do, but it's like pretty much the same thing. I just can't think of it off the top of my head.
I don't particularly like adult animation. I don't watch it. But like Family Guy, the clips I see, they are very smart. Like some of the shit.
I don't know why you would not like.
Oh, I just don't want to put my time into it. I'm not saying it's not funny or something, but
I'm too busy.
No, but I'd rather put my time into something else.
Oh, like curing cancer. Like
Yeah.
this guy. This guy.
This
guy's too big. Let John cure cancer, and I'm going to watch Rick and Morty for the rest of my life.
Yeah, have fun.
Even though the dude, the dude
Idiot.
that like voices like Rick.
He cured cancer.
No.
What did he do?
He's like a pervert.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do they have to get a new Rick?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think they're gonna get a new Rick, and I hope they just make someone that sounds exactly like him.
Oh,
and I'll be fine
it's
with it.
easy. These guys
Oh
do
my
this for a
gosh,
living.
bro! There's somebody that sounds like Morgan Freeman, and he's a white man.
A white man. A white man just won the dunk contest.
A white man sounds
think-
like Morgan Freeman.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I know.
Dumbledore?
Why would he say Dumbledore?
It's Dumbledore. That's what I said. Dumbledore.
Say something that Morgan
That's from
Freeman
Lego
would say.
Movie. He says that in Lego Movie.
Say something that Morgan Freeman would say.
Billy, I think it's time we escape from this prison.
No. Oh, that's Shawshank? I think Morgan Freeman would say something like, "The sun sets,
That's pretty good.
and the sun's still rising."
I got country at the end.
It's tough. I mean, he's got a majestical voice. and
Majestical.
it's just like, it's the most beautiful thing you've ever heard. And then all of a sudden, a white man can do it.
that?
I mean,
A white man?
Morgan Freeman might as well have been dead for the last 15 years for all I know.
Some white guys doing
I'm surprised Morgan Freeman's still alive. This is the same thing I said with like Betty
He
White.
can't be 80 years old.
Oh my gosh, that guy's 99,000 years
I bet
old.
he's high 70s.
No, I bet he's 82.
All right. You're going with 82.
We're
I'm
looking
going
it up,
79.
people. Yeah, give us a break. I'm going 82.
Morgan Freeman. Wow, you win. He's 85.
Yeah, there's no way.
You want to guess net worth?
Net worth?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Oh, really?
I'll give you that.
120,000.
All right, I'll guess 250. It's 250 million. 250 million.
Hey, you're pretty good at this.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just already had it pulled up. So I said that the multiple Scots was like Doctor Strange. It seemed very Doctor Strange.
Which I hated both of them.
Oh, well, even like the old Doctor Strange.
Well, the multiple Scots was like what I said about the multiple Family Guys and the multiple Rick and Mortys.
What about Baskin Scottins? What do you think about him? The Baskin Rotten Scottins.
Get out there.
The Baskin Robbins Scottins.
I thought that was dumb.
Oh, you didn't think that was funny?
Not really.
I thought it was semi-funny.
I'm like, I mean...
It did make me LOL. But I thought, oh, that's funny.
Why was that a thing? Because
in the first one, he like got a job at Baskin Robbins. They fired him as soon as they found out he had a police record. And then it stuck with him in all the other movies. Like, he worked at Baskin Robbins one time. It's a little...
Hilarious. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, and so then, after Baskin Robbins, I was like... I wrote down this note. Where are all of his friends? They didn't even have the Mexican guy, and he's the best part about Ant-Man. They didn't have... T.I. was in it. They didn't have the Mexican dude, who is hilarious.
His name is Luis, I think.
Yeah. Didn't make it...
He would have made this whole entire movie
a lot better.
I mean, even if, like... Honestly, bro, like, this movie could have gone from, like, what I would rate it to, like, an 8.0 if Luis,
Told
like,
one
that
story.
Mexican dude, was just, like, accidentally there when they all got pulled into the
Yes.
quantum realm.
That was a great idea. He could have just been in the room.
But yeah, and then just, like, got pulled into the quantum realm and made jokes the whole entire time. Because he's hilarious.
Yeah, they didn't have really many good jokes.
Oh, my gosh.
Darren
there was that
was the
one
best
time
guy,
where, like,
but,
this,
and
like,
Baskin
jelly
Robinson
dude,
was okay.
this jelly dude was, like, he got shot a bunch, and then he was like, oh, I'm full of holes, and then screamed, and then, like, ate, like, 3 demon dudes.
Yeah,
You
he
don't
was
know what I'm talking
addicted to
about?
having holes. That was
I
the
guess.
ooze. Yeah, he talked
That was
about
the ooze?
That was the ooze. He was the one who was like, how many holes do you have? And he's like, I have no holes.
Oh, so then he was
was
like, oh, I'm
juiced about
full
having
of holes. And then he just, like, grew, like,
He
5
was
times
supposed-
his size.
The ooze was supposed to be one of the funny parts, and
Wasn't
MODOK
funny.
was supposed to be one of the funny parts. You should have had
MODOK was funny.
You should have had Luis there. Zach's right. If he would have gotten sucked in, that would have made
If
the
he would
movie.
have gotten sucked
They
in
were
at the
the
start,
whole
like,
movie.
and you could have put him with Paul Rudd and his daughter and made, like, a whole different movie.
Yeah, and like they just tossed him to the curbside. They didn't even have him in it for a second, not even for a little cameo.
Luis.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a great one of their characters. That's
He was
why-
one of the best, and I can do without all the other guys. Like, there was a Russian guy that,
and
like,
then
I'm fine
and then
with.
T.I. and they
And
could-
I would have been fine without
Luis
them.
was good. Yeah,
Like, if Luis was just hanging out with Paul Rudd, got sucked into the quantum realm,
that would have saved the movie.
that would have saved, that might have saved the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, ah, jeez Louise.
Okay, so then, Scott gets like his girlfriend, the Wasp, comes and saves him. The Ellen DeGeneres comes down and she shrinks the thing to the size he needs, and they get it. Well, then all of a sudden, Kang, I don't remember what happens, but he opens up a portal, and I'm
Kang
like,
does?
yes. Remember, he comes down to Scott, and they have it shrunk, and he opens up a portal and goes back up to his throne. And I'm like, so this guy can open up portals now.
Yeah.
If he could open up portals,
Just to
go
Earth.
home.
Yeah.
So that seemed like a hole to me.
I don't even remember that part, but I was probably peeing for the 6th time.
Yeah.
I peed a lot during this movie, people. Here's what I'd say.
Okay.
And this is how you can know how bad the movie is. Usually, if a movie is super good and I don't want to miss anything, I'm
pee.
going to hold that piss. I'll hold that piss until my body rejects
itself.
me. Like, I swear I'd hold that piss, baby. But, but like, the second I had to pee, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go pee. Like,
Yeah.
that's how this movie was. It was like you know what, I got to pee, I'm going to go pee.
So Kang gets the thing he needs from Scott and what's his girlfriend's name?
Hope.
Scott and Hope. They shrink it down. He gets it. He does a portal to his little place.
But that was one of the only things I liked about this movie.
Which part?
Was when Scott was like, at some point, his hive mind of Scott's becomes like coherent, and they're like, oh, we're here to like save Hope.
Yeah.
And then they all start pushing him up and stuff. Like, I like that part.
Oh yeah, that was good. To save his daughter.
Yeah.
And they were like, so all the ones from him.
So the reason that like, so I just figured out what Rick and Morty, the Rick and Morty thing is they have like So there's one specific universe, right? And then they screw that up. So then they split into like two separate universes with two separate realities of two different opinions of like, like two different options.
Yeah.
And they split again, and they split again, and they split again, and they split again until there's like 136 different options of what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this was. So there was thousands and thousands and thousands of Scott Langs that were like, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this to stop Kang, we got to do this to stop Kang. And they had no objective. And then it was like, oh, Cassie, this is what we got to do to save Cassie. And then it was like every single one of them like hive-minded to
that
save.
was nice.
I like that part.
Yeah,
I like
it was
that part.
a dad trying to save his daughter kind of stuff. That was nice.
Jeez Louise.
So then Kang opens that portal, and now he's doing what he needs to do. He has what he needs to leave. And so now we have to fight Kang. So Ant-Man gets big. And I, for the life of me, could not understand why didn't he get even bigger? Like, Ant-Man is in a world that's this small, so he gets big, so he gets this big, and he's massive. Why didn't he get this big, you know? Like,
at what point do you think...
And they would get, like, tired. I'm like, you're tiny. You're still tiny.
Question for you, though,
Uh-huh.
off of that. At what point does his size become... So, like, if he got as big as he did in, like, Earth...
Yeah.
Like, a whole solid 5'6" Paul Rudd.
Uh-huh.
Like, this dude's massive.
Uh-huh.
He wouldn't be able to see these people.
No, I think if he got a decimeter tall, he would have been too tall. Like, if he had gotten this big, he would have been too tall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he could have gotten as tall as he wanted as long as it was less than...
Like, double up.
Yeah. And because he was still taking, like, 16 steps, and they would get, like, tired. And I'm like, you're still tiny.
Yeah, keep getting
Like,
bigger.
in the world, when they got giant, they would get tired.
And why do they all have this many discs on them? And also, like, at the end, Paul Rudd does pretty much, like, the same thing that the hot grandma does.
Guy didn't learn his lesson at all.
Well, he does that, but he throws, like, 3 reds and 3 blues on it.
Feels like they should cancel out.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, he throws that on it, it stays the same. Wham, bam, thank you, Pam. King the Conqueror is back at it, man.
So I couldn't understand why he wanted to get bigger. We already talked about Ooze got his holes. Then Darren, a.k.a. MODOK, was fighting Scott's daughter. And this is one of the funnier parts of the movie.
Which, I mean, he's the ultimate weapon, and he's fighting literally a C-class hero's daughter.
He fights...
This girl is a D-class hero.
Yeah, so he fights Cassie, and she turns giant as well, which is still extremely small, and she's getting
And also,
tired,
that shit pissed me off.
which doesn't make any sense. So she slams him down, she beats him up, and he's like... They have this whole conversation about...
Which was funny. I
Yeah,
laughed
this
out
was...
loud.
Yeah, she's like...
She's like, it's not too late
It's
to
not
change.
too late for you. And he's like, I can't change.
He's like, I'm just
I'm
such
lost.
a dick.
And she's like, just don't be a dick. And he's like, I just can't.
Yeah, but I'm such a dick.
I'm such a dick.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny.
That was funny.
And the guy looks funny.
But also, that on the point of Cassie getting bigger, at some point in the movie, Cassie and Paul Rudd link up, and they're both big. And they act like they're big.
What does that mean?
I mean, if two people are the same size.
Well, they were big compared to everyone else.
I know, but it pissed me off. Like, they were the same.
What were they
freaking size.
saying?
I mean, they were like, oh, you're so big. They're so big. I mean...
And they're
Paul
also
Rudd-
still tiny. It was pissing me off that she was getting tired like they do in Ant-Man, I guess it's 2, I believe. He gets giant and he gets tired because
like
he wastes so much
winded-wise.
energy.
Yeah, but she did that.
Yeah, why were they getting tired when they were still extremely small? They were just bigger than all the other small people.
I guess it's just like in
Because
comparison
he never
to,
got tired when he shrunk.
Yeah.
So he was even shorter. They should have had extreme
For sure, he was
energy.
microscopically shorter than he was
Shorter
when he
than he
shrunk
could have
his
ever been.
Ant-Man.
Just because he was giant compared to everyone else does not mean he was giant. I think the science doesn't add up there. It was like, oh, just because you were giant compared to everything around you, you're giant again. Wrong. Movie sucked.
Yeah, I like this movie less than I liked you people.
Wow. So then Darren saves the day, and that part is also kind of funny. Kane the Conqueror is getting attacked by these ants, and he does like a force field, and Darren, the ultimate fighting machine, MODOK, zooms in and like breaks up his force field, and then
he's like, I'm not a dick.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not a dick, and it explodes him, and he's laying over there like about to die.
And then he gets mobbed by like 1,000-year-old ants.
Oh, Kang does.
Yeah.
Well, MODOK explodes, and he's like about to die over there to the side, and they all have their like goodbye to Darren moment, and he's like, this part was pretty funny when he goes, Scott, you're always like a brother to me, and you know they've like barely had any interaction. He's like, I was, and he's like, yep, and he like grabs his hand, and he's like, I'm just glad I was able to die an Avenger. And like that.
Oh yeah, that was funny too.
That was pretty funny.
I'm glad I was able to die an Avenger, and then Paul Rudd's pretty much like,
yep.
Yeah,
You were.
Good job, brother.
That was pretty funny. Gotta admit.
I mean, MODOK was the only funny part of this whole movie, and it does not save the movie. I can assure you of that.
So then they're all the people are like ready to go home. Kang has just been destroyed by the ants, and they're all like ready to go home, and they have the thing that they shrunk down that they need to get them home to set up a portal. And they're in this room, and they're all like lining up to go home, and they send Hope's dad home,
which
and
is
her
like
mom.
an obvious, like, they send everybody
so
through.
slow that you're like,
slow.
oh, here we go.
Yeah, and it's also like Paul Rudd last, so it's like, okay, here we go. Let's see what happens.
Then
like,
Hope. Then Paul Rudd sees something happening.
no, because like
so
Paul Rudd
pushes in Cassie.
Cassie in,
And then all of a sudden, Kang attacks him. And then you're like...
and Cassie's like, I don't know, he was right behind me. Like, did you not see him, like, push you?
Yeah, did you not feel the...
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck, dude? He was right behind me. Where'd he go? I'm like, you just got your ass
Did
pushed.
you not get that he was in some shit just then?
So then Kang attacks him, and he ends up... Does he just beat him up? Or who... Oh, does Hope come out too?
Yeah, Hope, like, shoots some, like, thrusters at him to, like...
Yeah,
really...
he's already beat the shit from the ants, and then, like, Ant-Man and Hope beat him up.
And then, just like Marvel should, they have a woman there to save the day. Because Ant-Man's getting his shit rocked.
Well, then they beat up Kang, and I think, run to the portal. You have time. That was pissing me off, too.
Oh, they had certain amount
And
of time.
they're like, it's about to blow up, and then...
And then he gets sucked into the realm, and I'm like, run to the portal.
Yeah.
Like, they still had time.
I went to the bathroom at this point. What happens at the very end? Like...
So they go, like... So they're, like, fighting Kang. They're fighting Kang. They push him into the battery that they use to, like, get there.
No problem going to the bathroom in this movie because it was so bad.
I mean...
I think I went, like, 3 times. I was like, if I have to pee even the smidgest bit...
The second I had to pee, I was like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you, bladder.
Great. It's really bad.
It's really bad. So, like, they fight Kang, and then, like, Hope shoots him into the, like, battery that they had, and he gets, like, absorbed by the battery. And then they just stand there. The portal closes, and then they're looking out amongst, like, all the people that, like, they saved, and they're all cheering, like, all these, like, isotopes and mitochondria and like freaking like whatever the hell these people are, but they're all just like freaking germs. Pretty much a bunch of germs
are cheering them on. Thanks for saving us.
Oh, thanks for saving me. You're a germ.
Germ.
You're a freaking germ.
So shut up, germ.
And then they're like, for 10.5 seconds, you think maybe Paul Rudd and Hope are going to stay here for the next movie. No, because they just calibrate it.
On the outside, right?
Yeah.
His daughter sets up her machine.
Instantly open a portal. Like, just don't open the portal. I mean, leave. I don't know, man.
So then, that was basically it. There was 2, so they win. What happens when they go home? Anything at the end?
So Paul Rudd is like, all happy-go-lucky, and he's like, man, we just defeated Kang. Like, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Kang said earlier, he's like, you want to help me get... earlier in the movie, he's like, you want to help me get home because I'm here to stop something that's going to be really, really bad.
Like, you
want to help
You don't
me.
like me,
but you're
wait
really not
until
going
you
to
see
like
the rest
what's coming. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, Paul Rudd's, like, strutting down the street, and it's like, people, let me tell you about my best friend. That's not the song, but pretty much the vibe.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "It's a warm-hearted person," and he's just strutting. He's like, "Man, I can't believe we defeated this villain."
Me neither.
And then Paul Rudd's, which he should not have been able to defeat him.
That Ant-Man was able. I know that he's not completely defeated, obviously, but I hate that Ant-Man was able to defeat
And
Kang
if the
the Conqueror.
Kangs had to exile this Kang,
Then they're puss too.
then he had to be the most OP Kang. And you saw the Kangs that they brought in, right?
I don't think that this Kang is dead.
Like Pharaoh Kang,
Yeah.
Cyborg Kang,
It's-
everything else. I was like, I don't want to see any of these damn Kangs in my damn movie.
Kang is supposed to be like the next Thanos.
He's
of
supposed
this
to be the next
series.
Thanos, and I'm like,
He
how
should
is
have been.
this
If
big
it was a Thor solo movie, he should have kicked Thor's ass. And we are talking about Ant-Man is when he was introduced.
He
other
should
than the
have
Loki
took
show,
Ant-Man.
he should have destroyed Ant-Man. I think Paul Rudd should have died in this movie, and you would have been like, "Damn, that was pretty beast." King
Yeah.
just killed. Like,
Oh, they should have murdered him.
Yeah, he should have
And
like absolutely
there
destroyed
goes
all
one
of
less
them.
male character, which
That's
is the only
good
reason I don't
job.
want Paul Rudd to die.
Yeah, he's fine. I've liked Ant-Man in the past.
I like Paul Rudd, and I think he's super funny. but
Ant-Man
I'm
1
also
was
just
really
like,
good. Ant-Man
jeez
2 was okay.
Louise.
Ant-Man 3, I think that was trash.
And
I had
also-
high hopes. High hopes.
Let's just talk about like the male characters we have left, right?
So Captain America's gone. I hear
Frickin-
Iron Man might be coming back.
Freaking Hawkeye ran over by a Zamboni.
Oh my god. I didn't even think about that part.
Zamboni Hawkeye. Freaking dementia Chris Hemsworth.
Which could be fake news.
He's got dementia.
I think it's fake news.
I'm just saying, we're running out of like they expected all these.
Holland
guys.
is good. Tom Holland's a good character.
Chris Pratt is a conservative, so you know they want to
They're gonna
cancel
kill
him
him.
as soon as
Guardians
possible.
of the Galaxy 3 trailer. looks
If
like
they
it's gonna
kill Chris
slap.
Pratt,
then
I might be done with that.
yeah. Nice.
Thank you. Because I'm sick and tired of all this shit. Like, okay, so there's this
And then we got the Hulk, who we all know we don't like. Mark Ruffalo.
Knife Lord, we're gonna answer that soon, buddy. All right. So anyway, so Chris Pratt. So there's this there's this clip on TikTok, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's like celebrities that are hated most. And it's like, okay, so
He
like
doesn't make the list.
he made the list.
I feel like he's one of the most loved.
And like I shit you not, like there was some terrible things that were said about celebrities prior. And then the things they said about Chris Pratt were like, he likes to deer hunt. He murders animals. Like, the way they put it. And it's like, I'm like, he's like, oh, he's a conservative. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Chris Pratt's my freaking ride or die, and he's my baby boy.
Yeah, so I like Chris Pratt. Big fan of his.
Oh, Chris Pratt, come on the pod.
Yeah, come on the pod. So the best dude characters we have left are Chris Pratt, Tom Holland.
I love Tom
I love
Holland. I
Loki.
love
It seems
Chris
like
Pratt.
he's still
I love
hanging around,
Loki.
even though he's dead. I don't know, man. Vision's okay. Hulk is good when he's green, when he's Mark Ruffalo. Hey,
I hate Mark Ruffalo. There's nothing I like about that Hulk.
there's nothing
I
redeeming
hope
about the
he
guy.
dies.
I hear that Iron Man's gonna come back.
I hate him.
I know you do. And then it's
Epstein
It's not
flight
Marvel's.
list.
It's not Marvel's fault, but Black Panther.
Robert Downey Jr., Epstein flight list, Tom Hanks. I mean, I don't know who we want to talk about, but they're disgusting F celebrities. Sorry.
No. August dies on.
No, don't listen to him. He said, come on the what? Like, we didn't say come on the pod.
We said come on the pod. We would have
Like,
him on
back
the
the
pod
heck up.
anytime.
We're trying to wait to answer comments till the end.
Yeah.
And you got to make some stuff up
And just
like
because
that.
August I does all caps, he thinks he can draw our eye.
August I. Yeah. We're like, August go die. I'm sorry. I love you, buddy.
All right. So then, at the end of the movie, that happens. And then we have our post-credit scenes.
Which I begged and pleaded John to leave.
I I review movies for a living, and Zach wants me to leave them early. I mean, I quite literally have a movie review podcast, and he's trying to get me to leave a movie early. So, the first one is like halfway through the credits, and it's all these different versions of Kang the Conqueror, all his variants that banished this Kang, and they're just like...
Which one was it?
We were talking about all the Kang. They got all the Kangs together to discuss that this Kang the Conqueror that they banished was dead.
And all the Kangs were super lame.
Yeah, there's one like Pharaoh. There's like one.
There was one Pharaoh. There was one Cyborg, and then at the end there was one that was just screaming his ass off. For no reason.
They were just cheering about seeing all.
He was
the
like,
Kangs.
ah!
He was,
I thought the whole thing was that every Kang hated every Kang.
No, I think these Kangs got off to all the Kangs.
Jordan said, "Nah, f you." Anyways, it was terrible, and
So-
I know Jordan hasn't seen this movie.
And then the last extra scene was
he was this guy.
it was Loki, and it was like Kang dressed as Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, Kang was like, I don't know if it was Frederick Douglass.
Isn't that who you said?
I don't know. But anyway, so Kang is like a historical black figure, and he's sitting there, and then Loki and Owen Wilson are in the crowd, and they're like, this is the guy. And that was the whole entire thing. And I begged and pleaded to John to just leave, because I know what happens with these Marvel movies now, and it's just bullshit.
They leave you there, but hey, I'm doing
And
it for
John
my
was
pod.
waiting for something. He was waiting for
No, I'm doing it for the pod. I wasn't
Ah.
expecting anything beast. I'm tired of Marvel, but I had to do it for the fans. And I let you know, you guys can leave early in this one. I highly suggest waiting until it comes to Disney Plus and watching it if you have Disney Plus, and maybe not even watching it.
Yeah.
I would probably watch it once to say I did know what's going on.
I'd like to watch it once with audio that wasn't so shit. I cannot explain to y'all how shit the audio was the whole entire freaking time. And stop bringing the messages, John.
You were the one who was staring there.
I could see it. I could see by your eyes.
You
that
were
reading
staring
these
there like
messages.
this, Chief.
All right, but anyway, so
let's rate it.
that's the end.
Let's rate it.
You ready?
I feel like you're gonna rate it lower than me, but yeah.
For sure.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
5.9.
5.0.
5.9 is what I gave it.
I gave it 5.0, 5.45.
All right.
Which is like, what did we give?
5.5. We go up. I can probably look what we just gave you people. I would probably prefer to watch this again over to you people again.
I mean, I watched this again just for the audio purposes, but I really don't want to watch this movie again.
So this would have gotten a 5.5. You people got a 5.4. I think that's fair.
That's fair.
I think that's fair.
That's fair. I think you
I would
people,
rather watch this
even,
again than you people.
That's
again.
fair. That's
All
fair.
right.
And I wanted to rate this lower than you people, but also like the fact that it's like 1 point away.
They
I
were
don't want
bad.
to watch any of these movies again, people.
All right.
But I watch Ant-Man again just because.
Knife Lord gave it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Thank you, Knife Lord. I mean, that's respectable.
Chris watched the pirated version. Go scroll up to Knife Lord's question, please, before we do our first seggy.
Knife Lord asked.
Is this from our good friend Knife Lord, avid listener of the pod? What do you
Knife Lord just joined.
What do you think is going to happen in Deadpool 3, and would you see it? Oh, I love Deadpool.
I mean, I'm certainly
I would
going to see it. Here's what I think is going to happen in Deadpool 3. I think it's going to be just like how Thor happened with Taika Waititi. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be the same thing. I think I'm going to get exhausted of Ryan Reynolds' humor.
I think this is going to be a lot different because I think this is going to be the first time a
Marvel
movie
had an
ties
R-rated
in. No, I think it's going to be the first time that X-Men and Marvel collide. Like, I think it's going to have Marvel characters.
It's got to have X-Men movie. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like,
It is X-Men. Like, Deadpool's an X-Men, and it's having Logan. And so, X-Men has always stayed separate from, like, the Marvel universe that we're watching now.
But
I
that's
think
what I've
they're
been
about to
begging
tie 'em
and
in.
pleading them to do to tie them in, but they keep not doing it. They could have tied them in so easy with Doctor Strange in the multiverse.
Well, I think that they're hanging on to this multiverse shit, and this is going to be the first time that they tie X-Men into it.
Okay.
I think that they could probably have characters like Spider-Man, like one of any of the three. All three of them are like, yeah, I'd love to make more movies. And I think that they might do like what's the first Spider-Man's name? Maguire?
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire. He could be like in this movie all by himself. I could see Tobey Maguire being in this movie.
No, it
without-
wouldn't be Tobey Maguire. I could see them doing like a Andrew Garfield type movie where he's like a darker Spider-Man, but I don't see them doing any Tobey Maguire.
No, not a solo film. I'm saying I think that Tobey Maguire could come into Deadpool 3 and neither of the other Spider-Man come into it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, Knife Lord, what you're saying about Doctor Strange movie being kind of bad, it
I
wasn't
think it
kind
was
of bad.
really bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
All
But
right.
anyways, let's do our...
Which leads us to our first segment. Let's do the 4 horsemen of worst Marvel movies.
This is the 4 horsemen of worst Marvel movies.
movie. You
And
wanna
I'm
start?
going to go first.
All right.
I'm going to go number 1 with the New Mutants.
New Mutants was really, 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 really bad.
Yep.
Yep, that's a good one. I never saw this movie, but just from what I've heard, I'm gonna have to go with it.
Gross.
Morbius.
Yeah.
I mean, I never saw.
Quantumania. This movie. Second worst.
I will go Thor 2.
Captain Marvel. Third worst.
Wow. I will go Eternals.
Multiverse of Madness. Fourth the worst.
Damn, you're the fastest talker of all time.
I mean, this is like, I might as well not even, like, that was it.
I'll go Hulk.
And I had Thor 2, I had Morbius, Thor 2, and Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan as, like, my closers. But I
had Iron Man 2, Dark Phoenix, Venom.
Dark Phoenix.
It was an X-Men movie.
Oh, yeah. Where, like, Sansa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
gross.
bad.
That was terrible.
I had a segment that was called Rant Man, and I was just going to give you
I've already ranted.
That's
so
what I was going
much.
to say. I feel like
Yeah.
we've already ran it through the ground.
Yeah, let's do net worth.
All right, let's do some net worth.
Paul Rudd, I'm gonna say 120 million.
I will say Paul Rudd is worth $90 million.
$70 million.
Yep.
Bull.
You need a better manager, Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the guy from Last of Us, he definitely needs a better manager.
Yeah, I mean,
we
that
gotta
was
do a
bad.
podcast tomorrow.
And he also has, Mandalorian.
He had so many, like, he should have been
Narcos.
getting $1 million worth of every episode of Mandalorian. He should have been getting $1 million pretty much from the start.
People
especially
love that
from
stuff
season
now.
2.
Season 2 and on.
I mean, like, it's Disney, bro.
Yeah.
Get your nut up and go in there and say, I want $1 million per episode. I mean, it's freaking Disney, dude.
Yeah, do Ruffalo.
Ruffalo? Have we not already done Ruffalo?
No,
I'm going to say 120 million.
I'm gonna say 50 million. No, I'm gonna say 30 million.
No way. 35 million.
Yeah, what has he done? Besides being a pussy.
He's definitely a huge puss, but usually those are the people that make the most money. I don't think Jerry Seinfeld has done anything besides been a huge puss, but
I think Jerry
He's a billionaire.
Seinfeld's probably got 500 million.
he's a billionaire.
A B?
Oh, he's way closer to a billionaire than he is to a 500 million.
Jerry Seinfeld's not a puss. He's also like,
I think he's a huge puss.
his show probably still makes money. I'm gonna go 500 million.
950 million.
What's puss about Seinfeld?
I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he looks. I don't
What's
like
up
the way
with that?
I know. That's the thing. I'd like to punch him in the throat.
Oh, you're silly. Seinfeld's beast.
Nah, I'm sick and tired of Seinfeld. And I think that's about, you want to do a word association in this
Let me do
podcast?
one round of Connect 4.
Okay.
And then...
I always hate this game.
Yeah. Oh, man. This is too easy. I have to pick another one. It's either too easy or too hard, you know? Because this
It's
game...
never just right.
It's never just right.
We never did a Puss in Boots, do we? Oh, that's when we got canceled by our parents.
Got canceled. Yeah, this one's too hard, I feel like. Okay.
Give it to me. I'll guess it.
Okay. Let me do. I'll find. I got one last one. Here we go. He is in The Three Musketeers, made in 2011.
Gotcha.
Elizabethtown.
What the fuck?
I knew what that was. Kingdom of Heaven.
Nope, don't know that.
Troy.
Matt Damon. Oh, Brad Pitt.
Matt Damon's not
Brad Pitt.
No. All right, I'll give you a fifth one because I feel like you didn't watch some of those.
I didn't watch any of those.
Well,
besides
see, I
Troy
said it
and
was
the
too
first one.
easy. And The Hobbit.
Do I know this actor's name?
Yeah, you should.
Sean Watts.
Troy and The Hobbit.
Samwise Gamgee.
No, and he's also in Pirates of the Caribbean.
I don't know. I don't care.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
I don't know.
And The Hobbit?
Johnny Depp.
And Troy?
Johnny Depp.
It's Orlando Bloom.
No kidding.
You should have gotten that one.
I don't
After I
know.
gave you The Hobbit
I don't-
and Pirates of the Caribbean.
I don't care about
Orlando Bloom. Yeah, man. Screw you, Orlando Bloom. Idiot. All right.
Idiot, dumb idiot. All right, let's do a word association and end this off because we're really good at these.
Yeah.
All right, I got a word.
All right, me too.
1, 2, 3. Stool.
Ants. Ant stool. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Step.
Tiny.
Damn it. I thought of like the smallest version of a stool, and I thought of step. Okay, so tiny step.
All right, I got one.
Really?
Yeah, what's a tiny little step? You got anything?
No. Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Curb.
Damn it.
We're gonna just be dancing around this forever.
Okay. All right, so stoop and curb. And I feel like there's something from our past that we could.
All right.
1,
2, 3. Stoop kid.
Stoop kid? I thought it was stoop guy.
Stoop kid's afraid to leave a stoop.
I thought it was stoop guy.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Oh, Stoop Guy. I forgot about that guy from Landmark. Stoop Kid is from Hey Arnold.
And stoop guy was homeless.
Yeah, that's
So I
for
said
sure.
homeless.
You might show up around here. Honestly, it's pretty close.
I think we're just bad at this.
Homeless. No, this is just hard.
Homeless and curb.
Stoop Kid. Homeless Stoop Kid.
I have no idea.
All right, let's start over.
All right.
All right, ready? This is fresh. No,
Okay,
no
I
thoughts.
gotcha.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Camera.
Oatmeal.
This is just okay. Camera, oatmeal. I'm ready.
1,
2, 3. Instagram.
Goldilocks.
Oh.
So we just both went off.
No,
We
no,
said-
no. I was thinking about like taking a
I said-
picture of
no,
your
no,
oatmeal
no,
and
no,
posting it
no,
on
no,
Instagram.
No.
Goldilocks, Instagram. All right, ready? No, I'm not.
Okay.
All right, I am.
I got it.
1, 2, 3.
Hot
Model.
blonde.
Oh, that's
That's practically
hot
the
blonde
same
model.
thing. Oh, I got a word.
I feel like I got one too, but they're not gonna be the same.
Damn it.
Are you doing a person?
No. More of a thing. Of what they are. What are they?
I don't want to say.
What are they, John?
What are hot blonde models?
Yeah.
Oh God. Ready? 1,
1, 2, 3.
Chicks.
Influencers.
Influencer chicks.
Okay. I got one.
Are you doing names?
No. Just what influencer chicks would have.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Big
Followers.
boobs.
Oh, okay. Followers, big boobs. What would followers follow if they were looking for big boobs?
Okay, here we go.
1, 2, 3. OnlyFans.
Yeah! You hoes!
Yeah, we got
You dirty little hoes, we got you. Have fun making $25,000 a week. You dirty hoes.
Well, hopefully we'll get there doing it the right way.
Yeah, not showing our titties or
Not
our
calling people hoes.
peckers.
Yeah. Idiots.
Yeah. If I make any money off my pecker, I would have done it a long time ago.
Long time ago.
All right. Hey. You good?
Yeah, don't watch that movie at the theaters.
Don't watch it. What do we rank it? Like a 5.4?
5.5. Don't watch it at the theaters. Just wait for it to get
just
on Disney
wait
Plus.
and then just
You ain't missing shit.
Stop
All right.
watching. If
Thanks for
you
coming
are
out.
Watching.
Have a good
If
night.
anyone's in the stream, I'm going to hop on later. See you later.